Now, someone says they want to join. Boy, they sign all the paperwork and they pass all the exams and tests. How long of a period of time from there to when they actually leave to go to Fort Knox or someplace like that? How much time is involved there?
Well, that's all based on the availability of training. And so that being said, the simple answer to your question is from the time that they enlist to the time they ship to basic training on the short side could be less than a month, to where we have seniors who join right after their junior year and they don't ship to basic training until the following June or July. So it could be in the program for 13 months or so.
Oh, really?
So basically the answer to your question is it could be anywhere from less than a month to all the way up as high as about 13 months.
But once they do the official swearing in, et cetera, then they are in the United States Army.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I'd wondered about that, if they had if there was a back door or something, that, because some people might want to say, I'll join, but 6 months later they might say, I don't know, I haven't gone yet. Is there a way out of this? I mean, I'm not asking to give you the open doors. I'm just saying that once you join, you're in. I mean,
well, when you go to MEPS and you join, an individual is going to raise their right hand and they're going to swear before God and country to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. At that point, they're going to be given a ship date, and this is when they're supposed to leave for basic training. So the short answer to your question is, are Sergeant Guimond and I going to strong-arm somebody to the hotel and to the airport? No, of course not. That's not the way we do business. But it is, of course, expected after they that's what they're going to do, that they're going to ship to basic training.
Right. So now, today, when someone is ready to ship over to Basic Training Center, they're just given the transportation from the Army to go on their own. You don't group up groups of 10, 12, 15, 20?
We do a thing we call Future Soldier Manager or Future Soldier Week. Like, we have the soldiers that have sworn in, because in our eyes, after that individual swears in for the first time, we treat them like they're a soldier. So we teach them basic stuff like that, basic map reading skills, basic soldiering skills, and we make sure all those soldiers, or future soldiers is what we call them, come in once or twice a week so they're all on the same page, so they're not completely lost when they go to basic or something like that. We don't just like sign the people up and then, hey, here's your ship date, come in on this day and we'll take you to the airport. No, we look after them like they're our soldiers.
I see, okay.
So we don't leave them in the dark, ever.
And what's the chow like in the Army these days? Is it
delicious? It's fantastic. It's the best meals I eat while I'm deployed and overseas, eating every day, no doubt about it.
Yeah. You get 3 squares a day.
No doubt about it, absolutely.
And what is a typical day in a soldier or recruit's life in basic training? Typical day.
See, basic training versus being in the regular Army, it's going to be a little bit different. But basic training, you're going to wake up pretty early in the morning and you're all going to do physical training. Once you're finished with that, you're going to come back, clean up, go to chow, breakfast chow, and then you're going to start your tasks for the day. It depends on whatever you have planned. You might be going to the rifle range or something like that, so you might be getting that stuff ready and go out to the range, shoot, come back that night. Get back at night. You're usually hitting the racks at about 9 o'clock at night. So it's pretty early night, but it's an early morning too.
Okay. Wow, brings back memories. So you're thinking perhaps a career. You are
undoubtedly.
You're in for the career, for the duration.
I love serving. No doubt about it.
Were you West Point or ROTC, or how did you get your commission?
I received my commission through ROTC, through a program in North Carolina A&T State University, which is in Greensboro. Went to school at a college called Elon University, but they didn't have an ROTC program, so I commuted and participated with them over at A&T. And after 4 years, commissioned as a second lieutenant and headed off to my basic course. And then in summers, though, you had to go to camps, right? That is correct.
Or
that is correct.
Basic training kinds of operations.
Yeah. The most specifically after your junior years, when you complete your, they call it now the National Leaders Course, and it takes place in Fort Lewis, Washington, and it's a 5-week course, and they're basically like basic training with the addition of being graded specifically on how you're able to lead your peers. You're graded often in different leadership roles and responsibilities, whether that be as a squad leader over 8 people or a platoon leader over 20 people or whatever the case may be. And there are other opportunities as well. I was able to go to airborne school after my sophomore year. So
you did that when you were in college?
That's correct.
I see. Okay.
That's correct. So as many opportunities as you want, but the mandatory prerequisite is to go to that camp after your junior year.
Now, of course, in the officers' world, your highest ranks gets up to generals and those sorts of things. But in the enlisted man's world, what is the highest rank? Is that Is that a sergeant major?
Sergeant major is still the highest rank.
Okay.
from the
And warrant officers are where? In between officers and your enlisted personnel?
That's about the best way you could put it, yeah. They are in between. They're kind of considered your technical experts, is the warrant officers.
Now, this has nothing to do with recruiting people, but I have to ask this question because I was curious about it. My sister, husband was a career Air Force officer, and she still lives on an air base down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He has passed away. And they took away the officers club, and they took away the NCO club, and now they have a servicemen's club, which is fine. But is that the case in all bases and posts now, that they take away the officers club and the NCO club, and they just have a servicemen's club?
We can speak specifically to Fort Bragg, which is where we've come from, and they still have all three, an NCO club, a soldiers club, as well as an officer club.
Yeah, I was just curious about that, and I had to ask that question, so I appreciate your giving me that answer.
No problem.
Guys, it's been a pleasure having you.
Certainly, Jerry.
We're proud of you, and we're with you. Things are tough now.
We appreciate your support.
But we got young, tough men like you taking care of us, so we're, I feel secure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for being here, and if you want more information about the United States Army, there is a recruiting office, and the address is, Sergeant?
1395 West Schaumburg Road.
Is there a phone number they could call too?
You can call 877-580-5845.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. And so you can talk to those folks anytime. They're there, and really friendly people. I've been in the office before, so enjoy yourselves, fellas, and the best of luck to both of you.
Great.
It's nice having you here with us.
Certainly. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Captain.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sergeant.